Man, I love gummy bears. I love them. I can eat these all day. I'll tell you what, I can eat these all day. I don't care. Holy smokes. In retrospect, probably a bad idea to make a video in a public park, but, you know, what was I thinking? I know I've been out of the loop for a little bit. Car broke down. This isn't even my car. This is Aunt Martha's car. Hence the pink steering wheel. I'm fine with it. It's pretty great. 298,000 on the odometer, so she's gonna keep trucking for a little bit. I did want to take a moment though to shout out to the bad guys. This video's for the bad guys. Little insight on me, I love movies. I'm gonna be an actor. I'm the next Denzel Washington, obviously. One of my favorite movies is Inception, just because it gets to the heart of how the brain works and thinking and dreams, and I love sleeping too, so that probably plays a big part in it. Anyways, Leonardo DiCaprio had a very good line that said, the most resilient thing is an idea. An idea sticks up here. Somewhere it sticks, but once it takes hold, it is very hard to eradicate. I'm gonna make sure that I use these terms in like pop culture references on what's like current and hip right now. I think that we get really like distraught and kind of like we want to go for our dreams and we want to like accomplish things, but it gets hard and it gets difficult. But I mean, take the bad guy, for example, Thanos and the Avengers. Holy smokes. Take aside the fact that he wants to decimate like half of all life on every single planet. But the guy's focus and the guy's dreams, like before anybody else believed that that was going to happen, he believed it first. Holy smokes. And I think there's a testament that can be said to that. That's just like, that's pretty impressive. Not quite the MO I'd go after, but still pretty impressive. Because what happened in Infinity War? Doctor Strange goes forward and he sees all the possible outcomes of the coming war. Iron Man says, how many outcomes did you see? Doctor Strange says, I saw 14,605,000. And then he said, how many did we win? 1. Holy smokes. Now if you reverse those odds and you're in Thanos' shoes, if you said that you were going to try to bring balance to the universe, it's going to be a difficult task, and somebody said, yeah, I mean, it's going to be very difficult and challenging. And if Thanos were to ask, like, how many times do I fail? And the person told him 1, and then he's like, well, how many times do I succeed? And the person told him 14,604,000. I'm pretty sure that he's gonna have the focus to be all like, I'm too big to fail. Holy smokes. But regardless of whether he's too big to fail or not, he believed it. He believed that this was his destiny, this was his purpose, and he was going to fulfill his purpose. Now, I don't know who's seen the actual Avengers Endgame, but Thanos is so focused that he actually ends up being able to get all the Infinity Stones again. Like, he is that ingrained in his nature that he's going to accomplish his mission, and like, he just waits for his destiny to show up. And in Infinity War flash backwards, he says, you can dread it, you can run from it, destiny arrives just the same. Holy smokes. Since Thanos is the bad guy, then like, it's very daunting that he's like, hey, I'm gonna show up regardless. But if you take a step back and you look at that and you say, dread it, run from it, destiny arrives just the same. Good or bad. So, it's saying that like, whatever your purpose in this world is, like, you can run from it, you can try to shirk off the responsibility of it, but eventually, like, that purpose is going to catch up to you, good or bad. And I think that's really powerful. Another pop culture reference is going to be Game of Thrones. Daenerys Targaryen, Stormborn, breaker of chains, mother of dragons, freer of slaves. Whether in the right or in the wrong, Daenerys believes that she is the person that's supposed to sit on the Iron Throne. And she says that her destiny is to free the world of tyrants, and that is her purpose, to be on Earth. Whether anybody else believes it or thinks it's right, she believed it, and then she shaped how things were going to go. So, I mean, and everybody always says those lines to the bad guys, man, if you ever used your powers for good, you'd realize how powerful you'd be. And I think there's a testament to that, where I'm just like, holy cow, if you had the focus of one of these bad guys, you can be sitting on the Iron Throne, you can be holding an Infinity Gauntlet on your hand. And I think that's pretty cool, of just being like, how many times, what would you do if you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew that like you were going to make it. I think that's cool to keep in perspective, because if you look at the bad guys, there's a lot of bad guys that like almost make it to their victory, or they really, like, before they had goons and thugs and resources and money, and they had an idea. They had something that they believed in. Holy smokes. And before anybody else, the henchmen or the mob showed up, the mob boss had to have the idea to say, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. And I think that's pretty cool, of just being like, not in the bad guy sense, but in the sense of having a plan and executing it. That power and that focus is just kind of like, that's powerful. And if the good guys realized that they had that kind of power too, then I'm like, maybe the bad guy wouldn't have gotten as far as he would have gotten, but that's pretty cool. Not that the bad guys do bad things, but I'm saying in the world of cinema, where you have stories that the good guy wins, but I'm on the opposite side of the fence, where I'm just like, yeah, but look at how well the bad guy was doing. Very surgical, very strategic. That's impressive. I'm not saying that the good guy was doing a bad job. I'm just saying credit where credit is due. Anyway, I know I ramble, but think about it. Think about the bad guys. But think about that dedication and what you would do with that kind of dedication and that kind of focus. I know what I'd do.